Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly readings for the 22nd to the 28th of July 2019. I hope it's been a good week for you. I hope you're doing okay coming out of the eclipses. And with the sun about to move into Leo, things are hopefully going to get a little less emotional fairly soon. If you're here, please say hi in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. Try and get the chat working today. And please remember to like the video as well. Take a moment, get yourselves settled in, sat down or lying down if you're able. And take some nice deep cleansing breaths in through the nose. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Hold. 1, 2, 3. And then breathe out hard. And just let any stresses, any emotions, any material issues or anything else drip out into the earth to be recycled. And then on the in-breath, just pull up some nice fresh energy from the earth. And keep breathing. And get your field nice and open. Hi Sujata. Hi Alison. So I'm going to be starting in a moment by bringing up readings for the collective, and then I'll move on to the 12 signs from Aries through to Pisces. So we're moving into Leo season tomorrow, so slightly more active time, which some might be grateful for. If you've been doing a lot of reflecting recently, this kind of thing, the chance for something a bit more dynamic is not a bad thing. Obviously, we've still got a bit of Cancer energy at the moment. Mercury still retrograding back into Cancer, but then we'll move forward again into Leo. Nothing too much to worry about. So for the collective, the first card is fallen to the floor. And what falls to the floor comes to your door. So that'll be the most important one. So let's see what the collective is dealing with as we head into a new week and towards a new astrological month. Wow, okay. Okay, so it's fiery. It's fiery and it's a new start for a lot of people, a fresh impetus. And in particular, I feel like things that you might have been planning for a while, working through for a while, thinking about for a while, are now going to be things that you're acting upon. So people might have been doing reflecting, but might also be doing some brainstorming, coming up with some ideas on new initiatives, new ways of approaching existing problems. And as the sun moves into Leo, the sense that I get is of us being ready to burst out with those. And it doesn't have to be too full on. A lot of this is testing the water. So it's not like, I feel like some people might have this make or break attitude about their new initiatives or new ways of doing things. And it doesn't have to be. You're trying stuff out. You're seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing what needs to be modified, what needs to be rectified, what can be fine-tuned, what is useful, what's not. Finding it out in action rather than keeping it in the head and going round and round, which isn't helping. It's very, very fiery. 5 of Wands. In the conscious mind. Getting started. Getting started, but This is that make or break attitude. Like, you don't have to set fire to everything else just yet. Subconsciously, yes, you're being pushed by the Eight of Wands. So you have this, we have this underlying feeling, I need to get there now. I need to get there tomorrow. I need to get there yesterday. Not so. It's a little bit slower than that. Go easy on yourselves. Stop applying quite so much pressure to yourselves, because you're doing okay. You're doing okay. And you're coming up with these new ways of doing things because you're doing okay, because you feel able to. And it's a time for action, but it doesn't have to be all or nothing. But we're moving out of a slower phase. We're moving out of the Seven of Pentacles, keeping things ticking over, seeing where things are going, weighing stuff up. All of that is where we're coming from. It's not where we need to stay. Because where we're going now at this time, Two of Wands. Two of Wands, so ready to act, but it doesn't have to be all or nothing. So you might want to put those guns down, or at least just shoot them in the air rather than everything else around you or other people, because you're not here to set stuff alight. But there is a drive to action, and you can use that rush of energy coming up for a lot of people, and you can make use of that to make some progress, to start moving forward, to see how things go. Do you have to make firm commitments at this time? No, you're testing stuff out. It's creative. And part of the creativity process is testing stuff out and seeing if it works, and being able to alter it, amend it, or jettison it if it doesn't. And that's okay. Like, I feel like in this society, we put ourselves under so much pressure. I have to be right about this. I can't do this unless it's going to be 100% a success. And it's a nonsense. It's a nonsense. We learn by doing. We learn by experimenting. And yes, we learn by getting things wrong at times and needing to modify and change. So the Ace of Swords is in the future. You'll be able to make a firm commitment to what is right and what's not working, but not yet. Not yet. Still a bit caught up in those vines, in those thorns, and that's okay. You'll be cutting your way free further down the line. But right now you're breaking free by trying stuff out. Trying stuff out, seeing if it's better, seeing if it works better than what you've done previously. Take it easy. Take it easy, but use the energy of the time to step forward on what you've been planning. There's no sense sitting on it forever. Just don't push yourself to have it all complete, to have every inch of it correct straight away. Maybe you will get it right first time. If so, great. If not, that's fine. You fine tune it. That's the picture for the collective. Moving on now to the 12 signs from Aries through to Pisces. Aries sun, moon and rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July 2019. Aries. Go easy on yourself. So these are going to be light readings, because do not put the pressure on yourselves at this time, okay? Let's see what Aries is up to for this week. You've been in a healing phase, Aries. I felt that really, really strongly. I've gone straight to my heart space. So some of you have been working on some emotional wounds, possibly in relation to a relationship that didn't work out, possibly in relation to projects or things you were passionate about that didn't work out. Some of you might have left an old career behind. For most of you, it feels like a romantic relationship thing that you've been repairing, recovering from, like your heart is coming back together. It's becoming more solid, more able to deal, and you're trusting your heart more. You're trusting your heart more at this time, and so you're able to follow it more at this time. The Fool shows up for you. So it's a new beginning for you, Aries. A new beginning, and maybe you're going to approach these things. For a lot of you, it's love. For some of you, it's career. You're going to approach these in a new way. Part of your healing process may have been to dramatically alter what it is that you actually desire in whichever area of life this is showing up for you. And that's okay. That's part of your evolution, part of your development. The ability to evolve, to change, to realize that what you actually want to move towards is different from what you told yourself before. That's healthy. It's healthy and you can trust it. So your challenge is the world. And that means following this. It means accepting that the past is done. It's over. It's finished. You've changed. You've changed what you desire. You've changed where you want to move towards. Maybe you've changed your perception of yourself within that. And if not, maybe that's a work in progress, but you're getting there. You're getting there. But this is also then about pushing that to one side. It's done. It's complete. I don't need to keep looking at it, going over and over it, because there's nothing more to learn from that at this time. And that's freeing you up for a new beginning. Ace of Wands. So very exciting, active time for Aries, with the sun moving into another fire sign. Exciting, active time. And you have the means to support yourself. Your heart is supported now. That's how you're able to move, because of the healing you've been going through, Aries. And maybe you've been looking over your shoulder and going, yeah, I've done all this healing work on myself, but when do I get what's coming to me? Where are my results? Well, this is the time when you step out and start building towards those, Aries. Hugely, hugely positive energy for you to work with. And I can feel this if you gather it. There's this surge of enthusiasm. It's rising up through my heart chakra into my throat, and it's pushing outwards. So you have something to share, something to tell people as well. Be very, very bold at this time. You're good at being bold, Aries. Very, very exciting week for you if you can harness it. The next sign is going to be Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July, 2019. Taurus. Taurus. Okay. So Taurus, you're finding it a bit harder to get out of the blocks at this time this week. There's a tension. I feel that tension within you. It's like they've literally like got me like sort of trying to stand up, but I'm sort of stuck to my seat with some glue, and it's like the strands of it are stretching, but they're not quite breaking. Might be a little frustrating. So this is about what, and I feel it's a mental decision, what in your mind you still feel committed to. What in your mind do you still feel committed to, even if it's not quite working, even if it might need tweaking, even if it's holding you back in some sense. The lovers, something that you've told yourself you have to be, or have to do, have to be committed to. That's not quite right for you. Not anymore. So what are we going to do about that? Well, your challenge, 7 of Wands. You see, you've outgrown it. You've outgrown it and you're trying to reach outside of it. But look, you're stuck inside it still. You're still stuck inside the house and you're reaching out, but you're stuck there. You're stuck there at the moment. Frustrating. So there's a bit to work out there for you, Taurus. And part of that is accepting that you can't go wholesale now. So like with the collective, you're going to start to experiment, but you can't just burn away the past just yet. And that's okay. That's okay. However, what you can do is start to move slowly. Now, part of what may be holding some of you back, Taurus, is also obligations, responsibilities to other people or situations that you feel kind of constrained by at this time. I feel myself being pulled back there by them, but this is where you work out which of those are genuine. Where do you genuinely hold responsibility? And where is this just what's familiar and convenient? That's going to tell you which buttons you do push at this time, what steps you do take, and which ones you don't yet. It's balance. It's balance. And the advice for you, 6 of coins. So yeah, some places you'll still need to offer something to commit to. Some places you extricate yourself from over time. Others though, ask yourself, what do I gain from this situation as well? It doesn't have to mean like material, financial gain either. But is your energy, is your love, is your effort useful there? Is it being well received? Perhaps some of you are substituting yourself for other people in those circumstances, trying to do other people's work for them. That's not healthy. Support is, help is, absolutely. But you're not here to do other people's work for them. Look at your relationships to other people. Look at your relationships to institutions. Look at your relationships to other bodies or groups that you might be involved in. There's some adjustment required in order to extricate yourself from the more difficult ones. And that's your work for this week, Taurus. That's what opens things up for you. I hope that makes sense. The next sign is going to be Gemini. Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, excuse me. Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July 2019. Gemini, you're getting 5 cards apparently, that's what they've told me. I'll figure out why in a moment. Okay. Devalue your own energy, Gemini. Devalue yourself, and devalue yourself enough to remove yourself from situations, where otherwise you might insist on having the last word or a comeback because somebody has wound you up and you're like, oh, I want to go at them now. I have to respond to that. I have to reply to that. I have to get my word in. I have to be heard. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. Do you? Do you? If someone is just intent on provoking you or getting a rise out of you, or if all you're going to do is get into a row or an argument that doesn't really go anywhere and becomes about point scoring, do you need that? Because those situations are coming up for you this week and you've got a choice to make. You've got a choice to make about how much energy you put in there, about whether or not you start to break away from that habit, which ultimately is a drain on you, doesn't help, especially if it's with someone who's committed to misunderstanding you or not listening to you. Do you really want to keep investing in that? 5 of Cups. But no. No, it's just not worth it. So what's driving that? King of Cups. Someone made you feel small. Someone made you feel small. Maybe earlier in life, lots of people made you feel small. And now you've got into this pattern of, I have to prove this, I have to do this, and this, and this, and this, and it's bullshit. You haven't got anything to prove. You haven't got anything to prove. Now, this is going to be a new way of doing things for a lot of you. And therefore, you won't get it all right overnight. And you'll slip, or you get triggered, or you get provoked. And that's okay. But this is about making a commitment to doing things a bit differently. The High Priestess, stepping into a new world, a new way of seeing things, a new way of doing things. Because part of you cringes when you do that. Because why are you still doing that? That's not worth it for you. So you pull away, and you value yourself, and you calm yourself in those circumstances. You self-soothe, you do things that keep you entertained, that ground you, that bring you back to yourself and into your body and out of your head, Gemini. 9 of Coins. Coming back to yourself. Because you're worth that. You're worth that. You're worth not giving your energy and self away where it's not actually valued or useful. And it opens things up for you. Think about what you can do with that energy. Think about what that kind of self-respect can do. Because it's not self-respect to defend yourself constantly or argue constantly if people are not actually receptive. That's self-destructive. And there's so much more out there for you. This also means you can pull away from people who don't truly value you, who you don't really belong with anymore, in order to connect with those that you do. So the world is your advice. Don't sell yourself short. Don't keep putting yourself in situations you don't get much out of, that you don't actually bring much to, other than trying to push for the sake of it. That's your main shift for this week, Gemini. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Cancer. The last day of the sun being in your sign, Cancer. Not quite the end of Cancer season in total, but might be a little less intense for you going forward. Let's find out. Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July 2019. Okay, Cancer. Been in your feelings. You've been in your feelings. Even when you felt you were getting out of them, you went back in again and thought you were getting out of them, went back in again and thought you were getting out of them, went back in again. And there's just been up and down and up and down. And that sounds tiring. It feels tiring. I felt lethargy sort of come over me there, like the top of my spine has gone up. So for one thing, Cancer, breathe, relax, straighten your back. We can all use that coming out of Cancer season. It's a lot to deal with. And it's been like this battle just to move forward a bit for you for over the recent period, Cancer. Three of Wands. But why is that? Why is that? Because subconsciously you still felt something was unresolved. And every time you were getting out of it, you felt like you had to slip back into it again. The Moon. But don't mistake what that's reflecting from your past for what's current, because I feel some of you projecting the past onto the current situation. And that's one of the reasons why you're feeling so stuck. Oh, this never works out for me. Or it always goes like this and this and this, and nothing ever comes through and nothing ever changes. But if you actually stop and look at yourself in relation to a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it does. So take the time to do that. Look at it more rationally as well. You have had successes, you have had breakthroughs, and you don't need to therefore put back on that skin that you've shed. Weighing you down is what it's doing. So you're coming up with the Ace of Cups, ready for a new beginning, ready to do something new, do something differently, think differently, act differently, feel differently. Big, 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 big. That's what your season's brought you to. What's holding you back? Seven of Wands. Still kind of boxed in the old stuff. So you need to start to take that out this week, Cancer. Take it out, take it out, take it out. Take a rest from it. Four of Swords. Take a rest from it. You don't need to keep going over and over and over and over it. You just don't. And yes, Mercury is retrograding in your sign. So yes, there is reflection going on around the past. But you don't have to attach to it. You can be an observer. Be aware of it. Be aware of it and allow it to drift past you. If necessary, journal your feelings. Get them out so as you're not hanging on to them too much. But there is something different to reach out for at this time. You can start to come out, to creep out. Please creep out. Please get out of your head. Please get out of your feelings. Please, 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 please. Give a rest from it and just start to try something new, something a bit different. Sign up to a class. Sign up to a new body-based therapy or a new movement class like dance or something similar, or some art, or start going out for longer walks, or do something that mixes things up. Mix it up, Cancer. Whatever's come up first for you in your head when I've said that, that's where you're going with this week. You owe it to yourself to do so. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Leo. Leo's sun, moon, and rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July 2019. Sun transiting your sign, Leo. The sun transiting your sign, and I feel like there is some success on the cards for you. Big celebration. I feel you celebrating. I feel you more active, more positive, more exuberant. So the sun is lighting up your sign. The sun that rules your sign. Optimal time for you if you can take advantage of it. Has felt this big celebration running on through. So that's where you're at this week, Leo. Daylight breaking through. Had the struggle to get here with strength. Also your card, by the way, in case you're wondering if we're in the zone for the sun in Leo, here's your card, strength. And part of celebrating, incidentally, is being able to turn away from what holds you back. If necessary, with help. Someone comes in, gives you something more positive to focus on, tells you how great you are, and you stop tearing into yourself, giving yourself a hard time, putting yourself under pressure, tearing yourself down. That's the big change there for you. You can do that for yourself as well, by the way. You don't have to wait for someone else to come in, although I feel they will. Tell you how great you are, tell you how much you've achieved. And then you can glide slowly away from that negative self-image that has been holding you back for so long, Leo. Because you do often judge yourself by how other people are viewing you. Need for external validation. It's okay to want external support, but the true value for yourself has to come from within ultimately. So you can start to move away from that need, Six of Swords, because you can start to give that to yourself more and more. You can start to notice where you've been holding yourself back, tearing yourself down, and make a commitment to do something a bit different, to think differently, to stop that you're about to do something, this is a really, really good idea, and then bang, in comes something inside of you that goes, no, I can't do that for this reason. It's not going to work. And there are some things that you might have been like planning for ages and ages and ages, Leo, like months or years or whatever. And then at some stage you go, no, actually, no, I'm not going to do that for this reason. No, this week, give it a try. Try that new thing. Recognize where you're sabotaging yourself, where you're tearing into yourself, because I feel that whatever you try this week is going to be successful. There's the celebration for you. So Knight of Swords, quick into action, quick into action. Watch for those self-sabotaging thoughts that probably aren't yours in the first place anyway. Then identify with your thoughts. Go and prove your point in practice. Really good time for big results, good successes, and to shift out of that stage, Leo. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July, 2019. Okay. In quite a pessimistic place, Virgo. I felt like this cage that you've built around your heart. So you've been protecting your heart for some time. avoiding connecting too deeply to other people, closing off a bit. And I actually feel that much of your healing that you can do by doing so is now done. But you've locked yourself into this pattern. And you're going to need to start to find your way out of it, tippy-toe your way out of it, take little baby steps to bring you out of it, to give yourself a chance of shifting and moving forward, because the energy is right for you to start experimenting. Not go full pelt, I'll overwhelm you at this time, but to start experimenting with meeting people, trying new things, dating new people. 4 of Cups is your situation. Same old people, same old routines, not really getting you there. Belief that you have to stay put in that situation, in your comfort zone, even if stuff's closed off. Well, no. This week, Spirit needs you to start to move outwards. Start to move outwards, the Hanged Man. It's okay to be observant, okay? And it's okay to be critical at times, but not when it becomes a pessimism, not when it becomes a habit that stops you from having new experiences, doing new things or doing things in new ways. So you have to start to creep out. Watch out for that reluctance to do so this week. Catch yourself when it's kicking in and challenge it. Challenge it. It's really, really not breakneck speed either. 8 of Coins. 8 of Coins. You're going to bring it together slowly. You're going to bring it together slowly, but you're also going to find that you can start to create new things. I feel like you don't trust yourself to expose yourself. You're scared that you'll be taken advantage of, or you've told yourself that you'll always be taken advantage of. But I feel like you've moved to a stage where you know how to protect yourself whilst out there, rather than just protecting yourself by closing all the doors, all the windows, all the blinds, and closing off like that. No, I feel like you're able now, under no illusions, but just going nice and slow, seeing what's out there, seeing how it feels. In line with the collective, it's experimentation at this time, but it's going to start to shift you and move you forward, Virgo. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Libra. And please, everyone, if you're here, please remember to like the video and share the video. That helps a huge amount. So this is going to be Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July, 2019. Libra. Okay, Libra. Have you got a bit of an accusatory tone to you at this time, Libra? I feel like you've been kind of tearing into people, tearing them down, accusing them of an agenda or ulterior motives, or just telling them that what they're doing isn't good enough. I feel quite a bit of projection within that as well, Libra. So you might want to examine where that's coming from. I feel like you might be setting impossibly high standards for other people as well. that probably reflect the very, very high standards you set for yourself. 10 of coins. I feel like you're demanding everything from people. It's quite unfair. It's quite unfair. And even if someone isn't the finished article or isn't perfect at something, or maybe they're a bit inconsistent and they go up and down a bit, that's okay. Like, they're human. You don't have to be so judgmental. You have the 8 of coins showing up as your challenge and the page of coins as your advice. They're still learning. They're still learning. And they'll go on learning throughout life. And they'll make mistakes. And so will you, by the way, because a lot of this is a projection because you're scared to make mistakes yourself, Libra. Genuinely, like, thank people and commend them for their effort and their presence in your life and the things that they do. Encourage them. Encourage them rather than, and encourage them within yourself as well. Don't tell them you think what they're doing is great whilst harboring all of this discontent towards them. Question that discontent within you, where it's coming from, what it's saying. Because they're offering something. They're offering something. Like, no, it's not good enough. No. Value them for who they are, what they bring, what they create. Shouldn't be such a big shift for you, but apparently for some Libras it is. So that's your work for this week. I hope that helps you and makes sense, Libra. The next sign is going to be Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July 2019. Okay, Scorpio. I feel like you've been doing a lot of work on grounding, Scorpio. I've gone straight to my root chakra. You've been finding ways to feel safe, secure, okay, like you're going to be okay. So it's been a healing time, and the root and safety, security, these are precursor to healing, to doing anything else. If you're not grounded to the earth, if you're not focused on the material in the first place, then any spiritual development that you undertake is going to be a mess, to be honest. So you've started to do the work on grounding and securing yourself, and that's really, really good. Except if the only way that you can feel safe is by uber restricting you and then never moving forward. So you have to build that safety and security, but it's a house, not a prison. What you can't do is wall yourself in and just be a hermit forever. Even if there's a lot to feel and experience in the world and it can be overwhelming at times. It's about having boundaries, but not total walls, Scorpio. Those of you going through this will know what I'm referring to. Because you're getting a little bit afraid of the world now. A little afraid to step out. 9 of Swords. But you need to rearrange things a bit, change things up a bit. Doesn't mean give up safety, give up security. It means stepping out gradually into new stuff, into the new, into the new, into the new. This week is about preparing the ground for that. Some of you are already doing that and you have ideas that you'd like to implement, and you can start to. Ace of Wands. You're okay. You're okay. You're being held up. You're being held up, but you do need to start to venture forward as well. Test stuff out. Test stuff out, because you've built enough safety and security that if you need it, it's there, Scorpio. It absolutely is. And you can still devote energy to refining that. But don't let that hold you back. Don't get stuck in that place where you don't move forward at all. I hope that helps you. The next sign is going to be Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July 2019. Sag. Okay, Sag. You might be a little too eager to act, Sagittarius. By which I mean it's okay to be doing new things, but remember, testing the water at this time, not full pout, full steam ahead, all or nothing. Some of you are in this sort of erratic state where you might be striking a match and burning away everything that you decided is in the way. I just torch it all. And then you're sort of walking away with this massive blaze in the background, feeling really, really free. But maybe throwing out the baby with the bathwater. 8 of Cups. So you are leaving something behind and you're moving away from something and you're following your feelings away from something. And that's not a bad thing. You're trusting your feelings and they're leading you to do new things. But you don't have to jettison everything. Have the Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords showing up. These are quite erratic figures. Very quick, very fast. Don't really care. I'm going now. Doing it now, doing it now, doing it now. There might be an air sign egging you on here, or an air sign who you're trying to match in some sense or get away from. So that could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. But there's that influence there. And with your fire, that's heating up. Air with fire is fire spreading rapidly. Rapidly. Going everywhere, engulfing everything. It's wise to direct it, Sagittarius. It's wise to direct it. The things you're leaving behind, you can move yourself away from. Things you want to initiate, you can get started on. You can light a fuse on that. But you don't need to spread like gunpowder or explosive everywhere and destroy everything, because that's not healthy. Pick your battles, pick what you want to move on, and don't feel like the situation is so urgent that you have to destroy everything else just in case, Sagittarius. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Capricorn. First two cards have popped up for you, Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July, 2019. Okay, Capricorn. You're not sure if you're in or out on certain things, Capricorn. This is the sense that I get, is that things are going, something's going well and then it's not, and it's slowed down, and then something else is going well and it's not, and it's slowed down, and you're not getting much consistency. And you're finding this a bit difficult because you might be reacting to this. And well, that's running hot right now, so I'm going to charge after that. And it cools down, but that's running hot, so I'll charge after that. Then it cools down, but that, and you're letting yourself be dictated to a little bit by external factors in that sense. Now, you can't control everything, much as you might want to, Capricorn. However, what you can do is introduce a bit of patience, a bit of structure, a bit of routine, and stick to it. And the reason for that is not giving up the quick successes or quick wins, but it's actually signaling to the universe that you're here for the long haul. So temperance is showing up for you. And this goes for the new things that you might be trying at this time as well. Just because you're starting something new, and maybe it's showing signs of success or promise, doesn't mean you have to devote all your attention, all your energy to it. Because actually it's a bit too much energy. It might lock it in place, and that's why it might be so inconsistent. So this is about trying a few different things, having your finger in a few pies, and not neglecting other aspects of your life, like your health, your well-being, your social life, your love life, your family, your body, your interests that are not just about making money, Capricorn, because you're allowed them to. So your challenge, Page of Wands, be more light-hearted, try different things out, but don't get too carried away with one thing. Queen of Coins showing up for you as well as your advice. Slow, routine, recognize what you're building and bringing together over time, and that it can extend, it can expand, but trust it too, rather than dropping it and grabbing the next hot thing and dropping it and grabbing the next hot thing. Bit more time and patience to bring it all together, Capricorn. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July, 2019. I was going to say you're pessimistic, Aquarius, but actually you're kind of depressed. Depressed to the extent that you're putting a dampener on your own ideas. Well, this doesn't work out, and that didn't work out, and that's not going to work out, and these things never work out for me. So, it's not been a fun Cancer season for you. It's also not true. It's not true. Some things you gave up on too early. Some things you're giving up on too early now. Some things can be approached in a different way. They can be tweaked. That includes your own view of yourself, incidentally, Aquarius. You're not a failure. You're not destined to fail, to fall. Nor is it the case that nobody will ever truly understand you. Because you're not that special that no one will ever understand you. Just give them a chance. 7 of Wands shows up as your situation as well. Common energy, but it's actually an expansive energy if you work with it, the 7 of Wands. Is it wonderfully stable? No. Is it a transition outwards? Yes, it is. If you let yourself push outwards, it is. Because there's something more out there for you. So your challenge with judgment. Your challenge with judgment. Stop playing dead. Okay? Stop playing dead because there's stuff that you can be doing. Oh, just leave me here. I don't need any help. You can ask for help and support as well. Just trust people with it. Because there are people who are going to help you on your way, Aquarius. I feel some of you really need to reach out for a bit of help and support at this time. That also means letting people in. It means allowing them to understand and to support and to encourage. Order that you can start to fuel yourself and get out of this rut that you've sunk into. So your advice is the Chariot. There is life, there is movement, and there are people who might surprise you by how they can help you along. Give them a chance. Give things a chance. Give the things that you felt, oh no, it's failed, I have to write it off, a chance. Take a slightly different tack and new approach and accept the encouragement that's coming to you away, because some people think you're great, but you have to allow them in to show that. I hope that helps you, Aquarius. The final sign is going to be Pisces. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the 22nd to the 28th of July, 2019. Okay, Pisces. A spark of optimism or a spark of hope or some impetus is quickly snuffed out, Pisces. Sometimes by people external to you, or forces external to you, or structures external to you, or things out of your control. And sometimes it's you doing it, Pisces. And you need to work out the difference between the two. And you need to work out when you're drifting towards paranoia about these things that is holding you back, that's looking into you, and then you're turning off ideas or sparks or impetuses before you even give them a chance to go anywhere. Big learning process for you. Page of Swords. When you give up on something, are you running from external forces or guarding against them? Or are you running from yourself and using them as an excuse to? Because sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other. But you need to be able to tell the difference between the two, or you're going to get locked in place and give up a lot of power, because there is stuff that you can move, Pisces. And when you feel it's external forces, check how severe and serious they actually are. You have the Ace of Wands showing up, your new spark, your impetus, your new beginning, doing something new. And you have the Knight of Wands showing up. Something comes in that feels really threatening. But is it? Is it really? Or is it something that will actually back down if you stare it in the face? Is it something that you're more than a match for? Don't sell yourself short, Pisces. Don't sell yourself short. I feel like, yes, you've had unfair treatment. Yes, things have hit you and they've affected you. It doesn't always have to be that way. Weigh things up, but try something new this week, Pisces. Give yourself that little push. Get out into the light, into the sun, and see if it burns or see if it nourishes. Because I feel it's going to be the second at this time. I hope that makes sense for you, Pisces. That is all 12 signs. Please remember to like and share the video. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or leave a donation, my details for that are just in the box below. I have time to pull cards for a couple of people. I will go with who I am drawn to. If you have a question, please pop it in the live chat and I will see which of you are most in need of me coming to you. Let me see. Let me see. Who is coming up? Who is coming up? LV7095LV. Hi Zelda, any idea when I will get a parking spot? I've been on the waiting list for 1.5 years. Thank you so much. Let me have a look for you, LV. LV7095LV. And hi to everyone who's tuned in whilst I was doing the broadcast. I'm having difficulties getting the chat up during videos at the moment, but here we are. LV wants a parking spot. Feels really soon. Feels like this month, LV. I have the World showing up for you, and I have the Queen of Pentacles showing up for you. So this feels really, really soon. I feel like you're being helped as well. Four of Pentacles. Coming through really quickly for you, and I appreciate your wait. I appreciate that you've had to do all of this extra work and walking about and whatever because you haven't got that. Feels like it's coming up this month. I hope that helps you. Mihari, hello Zelda, starting a business. It's taking time. Do you see success? Mihari. Yes, but only when you signal that you're ready. You're showing up with the 10 of Wands, 8 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. So it's going to take your focus, your strength, your drive, your determination. Maybe some collaboration along the way as well. I feel like this is a big change for you. It's a big shift for you, and you need to commit more to it. I feel like a lot of your energy is still stuck in things that are not really flowing for you and going anywhere, Mahari. And that's why there's this strain upon you and you're struggling to really move forward on this. So you need to start untying yourself from some of those knots at this time. The things that you still feel obliged to. You're going to be going more and more all out over time, and you're going to find support, and it's going to be fast moving. I hope that helps you. Fatima. Zelda, can you pull a love card for me? Okay, Fatima. It's interesting, Fatima. I feel like there's somebody who you might have been vaguely involved with or attached to, and it's not really gone anywhere. And it's almost like you're wondering, do I wait for this? Do I keep putting into this? Is this all there is? And now someone new is showing up. So you've got the 7 of Pentacles there for that existing connection, and then something brand new with the Ace of Cups. And a choice to make. 2 of Swords. It's fun, isn't it? Do you go with what feels big and new? Or do you go with what you've been looking for a while? Because you can't have both. They're telling me you can't have both, so you can't have both. So, like, that's okay. And you're torn. You're torn, you're torn, you're torn. Go with what you feel more passionate about. Not what you've invested the most in. Not what seems more superficially nice. What you're more passionate about. Ace of Wands. Because that passion is what's going to fuel it. And if you're disaffected and dispassionate, then whatever. That's going to help you through this. But that's your thing coming up at this time. I hope that helps you, Fatima. Super Angry Koala. Please, Zelda, can I have a card for love? Something's came to light this weekend that I'm trying to process. Complicated love. Okay, Super Angry Koala. Okay. Yeah, something did come to light. Page of Wands is showing up. So I feel like this person who you've been around or focused on might have a more complicated picture than you expected. Maybe chatting with someone else, maybe dating someone else, maybe with someone else. Maybe you've noticed someone you like is with someone else, but there's someone else in the picture. This feels like potentially a third-party situation, or someone's pulling away from you, and it's because like there may be a third-party involvement. 8 of Coins shows up for you. You're learning in this situation. You're learning more about this person and more about yourself and what suits you and what doesn't. I feel that this is still going to be the place, the situation for you to be in, renewed hope. But with the star, you have to be able to see that, and you have to be able to state your needs and what you want and be clear on what you want. Be able to learn through this. So I feel like this is something that can be worked out for you, but you need to be clear on what you want and value what you've built so far. And this may be a friendship that you're building on top of, they're telling me. So don't devalue that. I hope that helps you. Thank you all so much for being here, for tuning in, for the wonderful, warm and friendly atmosphere and loving atmosphere that you create. Sun is moving into a new sign. I'll be back in the next couple of days with your full outlook for Leo season. Please remember to like and share the video and to subscribe and enable notifications. If you'd like to book a personal reading or leave me a donation or a tip, my details are just in the box below. Thank you all again for being here, and please contact me if you have any questions or anything else I can help with, or you'd like to book me for an event or collaborate with me or whatever. I'm very open. Like, there's something that you feel I'd be useful for, why not get in touch? Very open to that at this time. It's time of new beginnings. I'll see you all again in the next couple of days. Thank you again. Have a good evening.